Okay, so back again. I really gotta figure out how to fix that. Anyways, so we're back again. Picking back up where we left off. I did do a bunch of stuff off screen. I had a bunch of conversations that aren't really important to the story. Did a little bit of retraining, so it took. Where is it? Class. So I redid Sela for a build that I found to be very effective. Took one level of Oracle, and she's gonna build mostly into Paladin, but there's a little bit of sprinkling of some other stuff in there. I finally found an interesting build for land that isn't just straight up Zen Archer or like hardcore cleric. So the idea is you give him Judge, and he buffs the party with mostly just like bonuses to like hit targets. I haven't found anything interesting on Camilla, so if anyone has any suggestions, more than happy to look at possible builds that change up the way some of these characters play, especially Camilla, or Camellia, sorry. I always say her name wrong. Camellia. Her story is really well done, although kind of predictable. Like, I guess what was going on well before the reveal. And she's also an interesting take on this character concept, so I kind of like it, like lore-wise, but her actual like mechanics character is kind of blah in my opinion. So if anyone knows good builds for her, please feel free to either share a link or describe what you describe the build. And then I looked stuff up for Woljif. I found a few that I think are interesting. Unfortunately, they all have the same problem, that he doesn't really become very good until pretty like late mid tier of the game. But anyways,
I'll go ahead.
So we're gonna continue on with this story. I did unlock some additional side content. No, not side content, but side quests. Side content. Oh boy. Anyways, so we're gonna take Woljif with us. Okay, so we can go to the Thiefling's hideout, we can go to the Blackwood Library. Oh no, we can't go to the Blackwood Library because that requires the Market Square. What we will do, since this is the closest thing, we'll take care of that real quick. We are reaching the point where I'll probably switch over to
against our resolve.
Turn-based instead of this, but not just yet. Perfect Strike. That's a good one. Battle Rage. Smiting, no, which one was it? It was Justice? Yeah, I'm pretty sure going with Justice for now. Going to Destruction later. I just wanted to see. Nice. Blank. I gotta double check this. I always forget what this does. I know it's good. I think it's so that they don't have they don't suffer attacks of opportunity or something. But anyways, I'm gonna charge him. We're also going to charge.
Let's try this way. Did you see that?
Oh, speaking of, can I put land in the middle? Canoe in the middle.
Ask nicely.
Put your buffs over there. That down there. Oh. I forgot you had that. And we'll get to it. That's all fine.
I'll watch your back.
Cannot get past how good this art style is. I think it's what the game's really good. Like, yes, it's buggy. Yes, there's some issues. Yes, some of the balance is off. But I mean, that balance being an issue is kind of a thing for games in general. But like visually, the game is just really good. The mechanics are really, really solid. The mythic path, stories, like there's so many good things about this that despite the fact that some of the bugs are even game breaking. I literally had to go reload a save that was like 2 hours prior because my previous one had broken. But yeah, like there's a lot of bad, but like it's like little bad stuff that like time and polish would fix. But there's a lot, like there's so much more good about this. Anyways, the basement is dark and dank, and you're immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall, separate from the rest. A tall woman, who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Woljif, you got my message then. Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear sister Charisman. It was just one thing after another. First, I was in shackles. Next, no, I was still in shackles. And I was being watched, and then the chief got me out, and I came here straight away. I knew you'd be waiting on me. Enough talking, or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods, and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away. But what happened? That bitch Erebeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us. And I have a good idea who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Do you think Woljif knows the name of the traitor? Charisma turns to you. He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woljif has been a part of very quickly comes to an end. Their hideout location was passed to the guards, or their competitors found out where they could ambush them. Woljif is the only one who always comes out smelling of roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us. I'd have said that meant Woljif was cursed with finding friends among losers and screw-ups. But now that he's with us, that must mean the curse has been broken. That depends. He was indeed most fortunate to find himself in a party with me. On the other hand, he also ended up in a party with you. The burden of proof lies on the accuser. Woljif doesn't have to prove anything. In a single fluid motion, Charisma adjusts her grip on her knife so that she is now holding it by the blade, as if preparing to throw it. Burden of proof? Are you a city guard or something? I don't know how it is with your lot, but in the family, the highest rank is always right. And here, that's me. Kenabres is burning. Why are you squabbling here instead of fleeing the city? Charisma purses her lips. I'd be glad to leave like the rest of my brothers and sisters. But in the family, there's nothing worse than betrayal. And it's something we do not forgive. We won't forgive anyone who lets traitors off the hook either. If I don't find the rat, my superiors... Let's just say I'll wish I was burning in Kenabres. I want to keep living, so I'm going to take a chance. Until I find out who here is the traitor, no one is leaving. Well, just tell your side of the story. What happened? What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Karasme got 6 of us together in the very basement. Me and those 5 over there, I mean. Woldriff jerks his head towards the 5 tieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up and says we've got a score. Ancient trees and wonders. The one place nobody's ever been able to hit. The place is guarded by a golem. But now, a powerful scroll that will knock out the golem just happened to come in our possession, along with a tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted shop will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And the most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right, with the locks and the golem. I picked the lock, I remember clear as day. Sister Dalna was on the lookout, Brother Melrune had the scroll, Dofi, Tevi, and Varner brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it, and the next thing I know, Irbith was there. Everybody scampered. But I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off me, about 20,000 worth, and to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and didn't even manage to stash anything. Karasme is pointedly polishing her knife. Where's the Moon of the Abyss, Brother Woldriff? What is the Moon of the Abyss? It was an amulet. I used to sit on a little cushion outside. Sit on a little cushion. Oh, jeez. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of Ancient Trees and Wonders. Sterling silver, sparkled like a star. Fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon. You know, a crescent, a waning moon. And in the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, "Oh, I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection." Woldriff sighs unhappily. I used to go there to see what kind of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Kenabres. People used to claim it was a powerful thing. But who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you in the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around Ancient Trees and Wonders, drooling over the Moon of the Abyss. Did you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope we'd all be locked up and you could get off scot-free with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woldriff. I see right through you. Why would Irbith arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't make any sense. If I was the rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in the cellar can have a nice Woldriff-sized dinner? The Moon of the Abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. Ain't worth dying over. You knew Irbith's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. Only problem is, nobody returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Irbith a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iomade all rolled into one. He speaks the truth. You'll find some knights who take brides, I'm sorry to say, but Irbith Terbade isn't one of them. That's the whole story. Woldriff crosses his arms looking affronted. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. It didn't take the Moon of the Abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to new Crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to you, Sister Karasme, I'll find it. And I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just as you don't end up right at the bottom of the cellar. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology. Right here, in front of everyone, you're going to apologize, loud and clear, so everybody hears it. You'll say, "Sorry, Woldriff, you're a good guy, and I was wrong about you." Fine, you're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woldriff, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace. But one day, you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that's when we'll get you. Got that? You have a way with words, Sister Karasme. A way that almost made me wet myself. But a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll chat to that scary gal Irbith. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. We'll find the real traitor. And I'll get my apology. Onward to Erebeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out. I don't want to get chewed up by demons. Let's get the loot. Clara for closed. I have other things to worry about. Huh. It's unfortunate. Don't they want to complete this anyways? Okay, so we'll go back to the defenders, right?
I know the way.
Erebeth. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who's your informant among the thieflings? Kenabres is threatened by a demon horde and you have enough spare time to help out thieves? Erebeth sighs. I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. Did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. Erebeth hesitates as she tries to remember. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the long horns, didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancient Trees and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the contract's code word just in case. The golem itself was destroyed, but the head seems to be intact, so you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Aurora. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance you'll get lucky with the golem. I have to go. Oh, I forgot about this conversation. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on to her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jistka legionnaires from the last war and the crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the crusaders grumble unhappily, but it is clear they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly, disheveled halfling monk, whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. Looks like we got ourselves a student of warfare. The woman gives you a suspicious look, raises an eyebrow. Were your words meant to recognize my achievements, or to start a fight the way Mendivian crusaders usually do? One of the crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by Jitskin priest craftsmen, armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her hair with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a luxurious tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I'm Indara, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Garand. I admit that I'm mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Eviston's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. I've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Golorian, and I don't nearly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war. The confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence, and the crusaders from every continent united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions. That hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. The monk with a black eye grins and mutters under his breath. Maybe she just can't see it from her. Maybe it will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Looks like you know more about what? Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person among crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the crusades and show them how the fighting should be done? No, I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything more than a feeble likeness of the last war of Jitska. The monk with a damaged eye grins slightly. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify actually doing the fighting. What was this last war you mentioned? The last war of Jitska, of course. A large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Arisian pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jitska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. Why do you find the last war of Jitska so inspiring? Imagine legions of Golem, imbued with extraplanar spirits, marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds, like terrifying monstrous birds of prey, to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive, and very angry, demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated Jitska, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its master wanted to kill. Imagine all those terrors, and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares they made real. I hear so much about Jitska's last war. I can say, without false modesty, that there is no more authoritative researcher on Golorian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to this subject. I personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an Exterminator-class combat golem that guarded a Jitska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jitska Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I am telling you about. I don't have time for idle chit-chat. It's not like bickering a dirty haven was the height of my aspirations. I'm into the conversation because I know that Nenio would I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Nenio would have some interactions with her, considering they're both researchers. So I'll wait till I find her to finish that conversation.
As it should be.
We're gonna go with the dead horse. Oh, that's not. That is on this side. Okay, so we're gonna go do this one real fast, because we get a few good things out of this. It's also experience without having to get into combat, which makes things easier.
That is not far.
Scrolls have been torn apart and have muddy boots. Been trodden on by muddy boots. Polished silk shelves once showcased magic rings and amulets, now it's left over the rest. Grubby handprints of robbers. Item. Fitting the talking weapon. Phew. Free at last. I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. You're a Pathfinder? That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the world when my tasks lead me. Scouting, mostly. But this last while, I've just been hanging around in Kenabres waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least this shop makes for better lodging than some inn. What I meant was, what are you? What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. What, you want to know where I hail from? Is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. We Kellids of the Star-Eyed clan fled when the whirlwind troubles began, but I couldn't stand by while demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask me about my choice of weapon? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword, poke with a spear, but what I'm best at is communing with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades. Phantom Blade? What's that? It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either, although to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors. The city is under attack by demons. Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. Then the guards came, everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Kenabres, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone. And besides, the more the merrier. How did you end up in this shop? God, I've been here so long I don't even remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders. But it looks like everyone's forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here. Alright, I'll take you with me. I swear you won't regret it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party's missing? A sword? A spear? A bow? Just say the word. Okay, so Finian is an interesting character. So you can have a conversation with him, but Finian's main thing is that he becomes weapons, which we are going to give to Woljif, so he stays out of the thick of combat. We'll eventually switch it over to somebody else.
I'll go ahead.
This is where it lay, the moon of the abyss.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
No mistakes.
Polished dark shells once showcased magic rings and amulets, and was left over the grubby handprints of the robbers. Unique weapons and antique armor are previously displayed on these stands. It's unlikely that new owners even know their true value. Okay, so we're going to talk to the Golem. The formerly well-appointed shop now looks like a sorry state. It has been completely ransacked. Lying in the corner next to a scorched wall are the soot-covered shards of a clay golem's head. The golem's eyes glow in the gloom. Master. Code word. Hand of Iori. Code word correct. The golem's eyes glow brighter, awaiting orders. Tell me about the suspicious people who came into the shop last week. Golem is silent for a moment. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human, female, old. Gnome, male, old. Human, female. He'll be reeling out of customers till nightfall. We need to ask it in a different way. Alright, we're into the suspicious people tieflings. Tieflings, 3. Tiefling, male, middle-aged. Tiefling, male, young. Tiefling, female, young. Describe the young male tiefling. Tiefling, male, medium height, short horns, curling backward, medium length tail, eye color, yellow, hair color, black. Special observations, annoyed master. Horns, hair, tail. That sounds like me. But it's not possible. I know this is what the security's like here. I didn't come near the place. I give you my word, Chief. No special observations. Subject was unremarkable. There, see? Can't have been me. Describe the middle-aged tiefling. Tiefling, male, medium height, long horns, medium length tail, eye color, pale blue, skin color, dark. Special observations, red hair. Oh, That's our traitor. I'd bet your life on it. Kara's may drilled it into our heads that he wasn't to go hanging about the shop. Red hair. We've got a couple of gingers, and plenty more who get it out of a bottle. So much for special observation. Golems ain't all they cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its master knows more? Describe the female tiefling. Tiefling, female, above average height, hair, long, pale, tail, not observed, long horns, eye color, blue, special observations, scar on nose, baldric with gold stitching. I don't know that one. A new arrival, most likely. Gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a little better. Enough. Where's your master? Philemon Fruliatros, my master, is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited. Prohibited. He likely holds himself up in the basement when the commotion started. The entrance should be around here, somewhere. Where's the basement in this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. I found out everything I wanted to know.
The mongrel did it.
Okay.
I hope you appreciate this.
The elderly gnome, so portly as to be nearly spherical, is curled up in the corner of the basement, shaking. Marauders, bandits, scavengers! Yeah, makes sense. We're all those things and much, much more. Before you report us to the authorities, mind if we have a chat? Please calm down. Please calm down. No one's going to rob you. The gnome peers at you. You do look better dressed than local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me that the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back! The gnome notices Woljif and his round face turns scarlet. You! Woljif, the dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here! You and your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. The gnome seems to settle slightly. My name's Philemon Fruliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can make claim to be the owner of anything now. I hope there's at least something left of it. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked, maybe, but nothing a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Wow, I said that very wrongly. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here, in the basement. I was told to make it look like I'd left. The Watchbearer is very keen to get their hands on those thieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galorian. So, of course, I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door, no matter how much I yelled at it. But then I thought that it was all to the good. Somebody came by after the guards and caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that have visited Ancient Trees and Wonders recently. Why would I tell anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eagle Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging his heels and say the word, I know how to loosen his tongue. I can bluff. I can intimidate. Start talking or else. Okay. Or else what? The worst has already happened. The whole city's picked over my shop, feels like. I'm ruined. But go ahead. Kill me before my creditors come knocking. Or if you try to persuade him. I ain't even gonna try. I'm just gonna let him have a little chat. Woljif erupts in blue flame when the shadow of the winged demon with claws grows behind him. With the devourer demon from the depths of the abyss. Philemon recoils in terror, covering his hands with his head. I'll tell you everything. Yes, I really did kick that pup. But I didn't know it was flying. It'd go flying halfway across the yard. The blue flame and the shadow vanish. Pup? What pup? Tieflings! Tell us about the tieflings! Tell me about Woljif. Philemon's face wrinkles in distaste. Woljif Jefto, right? Yes, I've known him for a long time, though I'd rather not have known him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the abyss. I chased him out, but he'd just slink back in again. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I bet anything he'd swipe the moon. How come I'm the prime suspect? Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who's got the moon. I want to see it return too, you get me? I don't like the idea of other people's grubby mitts on it. Tell me about a red-haired tiefling. Philemon falls to thinking. Red-haired tiefling? I suppose, yes, there was one who came in, spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means, I could tell by his clothes. But he asked me to show him an Asimar-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing, and that put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak like he was freezing. But that's all I have. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief. Back to Sister Charisma. We go to have a good, long, shifty at all my brothers and put all these clues together. Something tells me our traitor isn't going to wriggle out of this one. Tell me about the tiefling woman. Fiddleman scratches a chin. A tiefling woman? Ah, yes, I remember now. A noble lady. Unlike the tiefling ruffians we have around here, she purchased magical equipment for the crusade, and she promised to come again. If only all tieflings were like that, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. I found everything I wanted to know. If that isn't enough to help you catch the thieves, then I don't know what else to tell you. Now, be on your way and leave me in peace with my wreck of a shop. Might as well finish this up over here. Charisma drums her fingers nervously on the hand of her blade. Well, are you going to tell me who the traitor is? The name and the moon of the abyss they stole. I don't need anything else. Take a good look at the suspects. The tieflings are tense, ready to reach for their weapons. The only redheads are Melrone and Dofi. The dark-skinned tieflings are Varner, Dofi, and Melrone. Dofi, Melrone, and Tavi have straight horns, but Tavi is female. Only Varner and Melrone have green cloaks, so it's Melrone. I'm ready to give a name. Well, go on. The traitor is Melrone. You'll pay for this. Vodio and Hepsamira will get you in the end. Grab him. Take him away for questioning. Charisma looks weary, but her earlier tension has clearly lifted. He confessed. Someone connected to the cult of Baphomet ordered him to steal the Moon of the Abyss. And the best idea he could come up with was to drag us into it. He got the scroll to take out the golem. He betrayed us to Erebus so that he could swipe the amulet in the chaos. He thought we'd get nicked and he'd slink off to meet up with his customer. You've got the Moon of the Abyss? Let me look at it one more time. My whole life I've dreamt of holding it in my hands, if only for a second. He said when he got to the window display, the moon was gone. He's lying, of course. He had time to hand the moon off to the person who ordered it. Bloody cultists. I don't really give a toss. I'm just glad we got to the bottom of this. What are you going to do now? Clear out of this place. The sooner the better. The city's dying. I don't want to die with it. The city would have already died if not for the people who stood up to defend it with their weapons in their hands. So defend it. I'm not stopping you. It's your city. But we've always been outsiders here. Why would we fight for you now? Can I join the family? Charisma bursts out laughing. That's all you want? You can have your pick of the non-tiefling gangs. You've no need to tread on our territory. The family is for tieflings only. No exceptions. What are you going to do to the traitor? Charisma nonchalantly picks at her nails with her knife tip. He'll be sent to visit his distant relatives on the farm to think about what he did. Any more questions? I have to go. Good decision. I don't plan to hang around long either. Charisma turns to leave. Sister, Wojciech nervously bites his lip. His cheeks are flushed and his tail is swishing through the air. You forgot something. What now? You should be happy to be alive. An apology? You promised to apologize to me, loudly, in front of everyone. We're alone now, but I still want to hear it. Well, that. Charisma shrugs indifferently. So, sorry. I suppose for being wrong about you this time. Don't think just because you didn't act like a jerk this one time and it cancels out the rest of your record. I know all about you. Till next time, Woljif. That was the most pathetic apology I've ever heard. Charisma's eyes harden, but then she sighs. All right, fine. I'm sorry, Woljif. Let's part on good terms. And now apologize to me as well. When you falsely accused my ally, you accused me too. Don't push it. Good luck to the both of you. I think she gives you something if you succeed on that second one. Woljif watches her go, his tail relaxing. Better than nothing. Listen, Chief, when you've got a spare moment, come to see me. I've got something I want to discuss with you. But for now, let's get out of here. I don't like sitting below ground when the building above is ready to crash down on our heads.
I found.
My tail is twitching.
Something.
Must be a sign.
I am helpful, am I not?
Oh, Chameleon? That's weird. I thought Woljif has the higher score. Wonder if that has more stuff in it if you, like, fight them. Can he? No, he can't. Wonder why. Trickery 12. Oh. Skill focus, trickery, courtier. Pickpocket. 531. What does she got? 4, 3. Yeah, it's because she has the skill focus. Well, I'm more likely to take her than him, because she's not very good. And he's at least good with the bow. Plus, sneak attack makes him do more damage than her. Okay. So that requires that we go through there. That requires that we go through there. Don't want to go to the Great Garrison. Oh, here we go. Silken Thread. Altier. So I actually didn't know talking to any of you unless these. I came across it somewhere. So this is my first time in this zone I'm going to, and then the Bataxian Wine Cellar is another location I've never been to.
Yet another obstacle.
Don't mind me.
Immunity condition. Yeah, some enemies can't be affected by conditions. Usually it's mostly just that, well, I would say demons, like uncommon enemies like demons, but this game is just full of them. But yes, typically statuses are, or immunity to statuses are not common. Which makes this game particularly hard, which is why I think they probably added the mythic paths in the first place. I've never looked anything up on this one, but I know D&D has a similar module that's incredibly difficult that everyone talks about. Like, it's so hard as Descent to Avernus, which is kind of the same premise in regards to, like, dealing with
I am helpful.
I know the
demons
way.
Am I not?
as like a setting in its entirety. Cool, that worked. Already got banded. She's got a half plate. Okay.
What a find!
Oh, him again. I am the answer. But what is the question?
I hope you appreciate
Follow my
this.
lead. it should be.
Silken thread atelier. Atelier? I think it's pronounced atelier.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
This will hurt.
Ooh, a kineticist. Curveball with a sparkling fist. Nice. Whoa. Got some good stuff already. This diadem increases the damage dealt by the Kineticist's simple energy blast by 1d6 points and by Kineticist's simple physical blast by 1d6 plus 1. Composite energy blast instead deal an additional 2d6 damage, while composite physical blast deal an additional 2d6 plus 2 damage. I didn't know this stuff was here, which would make this actually a really great place to come to if you're running with the Kineticist. Which, apparently the main character on the Demon Path makes an insane Kineticist, but with the right build, of course. But Kineticists in general, even with just like their basic abilities, are apparently quite strong. Okay, knowledge required. There we go. Oh, I forgot to check the chest because it's got a bunch of low stuff. That's. Oh, he can't. What? What? He can't wear it? That doesn't seem right. 21. That's actually better for... Okay, what does this one do? Grants damage resistance 3 piercing. Oh. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than nothing. Ooh. What were they doing here?
That is not far. I'll go ahead.
If I wasn't going with the mythic path that I was going on this one, I actually probably would run a kineticist. I might do that for my next one. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for. I want to do a. I want to do a legend run. I think that would be really cool because the extra 20 levels can do some really interesting stuff with 20 extra character levels. Like I'd like to see like a crazy tank where you just get like all the bonuses that you can get from like certain classes, or just like, well, caster level doesn't have you. Caster level peaks out unless you take, I think it's the Lich path. I think even the angel one peaks out at 20. Anyways. Clouds may veil the stars, but nothing can hide the light in someone's soul, and I see this light in you. We will stand together to shoulder with you. Stand shoulder to shoulder with you against evil. Wow, I read that very wrong again. I'm terrible time with this stuff. I hear the echo of a familiar voice. I feel the warmth of my kindred flame. My brother, we will help you. Angelic aspect. Oh.
What's on your mind? I wonder.
Oh. I forgot about that. Ironically, that would make a really good negative energy cleric. Because you can do damage to enemies and heal yourself at the same time. Which I did not take into account when I was coming up with my build. Seat of Grief, a view of the infamous Heaven's Edge estate. This is the place where the most Mendevian and aristocratic society at once fell prey to a supernatural plague unleashed by the demons. A world long gone, a thematic collection of various artists' works on everyday life in Sarkoris before the opening of the world wound. More details in the museum. Here we stand and will not take a step back. The hand of the inheritor, Herald of Iamade, is depicted seeing the first word stone among the fortifications of Kenabres. Among the cloudy colossi. In this picture, the two angels, Targon and Lariel, are chasing and fighting a Rolokai demon in the air, several miles above the world. More details in the museum almanac. Servants of the Abyss, you entered the house of memory with evil in your souls. Soon you will be that memory. And she says the same thing she said before. Farewell to Sarkoris. Eliandra, the legendary priestess of Flora, watches the city of his crumble into the freshly opened world. More details in the museum almanac. Yannial Bay Fountain. The picture was presumably painted from life over the summer of 4637, 1 year before Yannial's heroic death during the Battle of Dresden. More details in the museum almanac. None will escape my Alcina. Inquisitor Holron fights a shadow demon that he exorcised from a soldier's body. Crusader Queen, a copy of the famous embossed bas-relief originally created by Master Derek Sunhammer. Young Queen Galfrey is portrayed personally leading the Crusaders into the battle on the 1st of Abadius 4624 during the First Crusade. He says something. Kenabres burns the city that should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Then he says something else. Whoever you are, keep quiet. There's a horde of enemies just beyond this door. Come over here and you will see... Come over here and you'll see there's a handy way up nearby. Be quiet and watch. This is the best part. Get it together, you idiots. No more looting. You're all to sit right here and wait for the order to attack the Defender's Heart. The last bastion of the Crusader residents. We'll flatten them and claim our victory. Into the abyss with all the Crusaders and the Defender's Heart. Kill us. The city is ours already. Now is the time to enjoy the spoils. Split up into groups quickly. I'll tell you where to go and what to bring back. Faxon, you idiot. Go back to Baphomet. He must be missing his lapdog. Everyone here will be following my orders. I'm in charge. We won't submit to you, you dirty descarate. Keep out of this, kill us, or I'll curse all of your extremities to wither and drop off. Everyone, listen to me. What we're going to do is... Looking for a fight, Faxon? Well, you've got one. Had enough, worm? I'm in charge here. Killis is the strongest. No looting. Only slaughter. We're going to sit here and wait for the command to attack. The Defender's Heart will fall.
I'd stay away from there right now. The tower is the main stronghold of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth and their allies. Going up against that many of them would be suicide. I have a better idea. If the demons and their mortal agents were better organized, the Crusaders would have been crushed long before now. But they're always trying to spread in every direction. Right now, in every corner of the city, there are demons like Kylus who are trying to consolidate their forces to launch a joint attack on the Defender's Heart.
Who are you?
Greybor. I'm a contract killer who's been hired to kill that demon that just walloped that other one. I've tracked him all the way here, and was planning to kill him when that crowd showed up, so I had to pull back.
What do you suggest?
Don't even think about trying to take them all on single-handed. You'll be mincemeat. Better to warn the Crusaders and the Defender's Heart that the demons are planning to attack. And later, once the attackers have been taken care of, it'll be much easier to sweep through this tower and eliminate the defenders left behind.
Like when dueling with rapiers. One doesn't lunge, but waits for the opponent to strike and leave themselves open.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Or like in cards, wait for your opponent to play his hand, and then dive under the table, grab the pot, and run.
You think I can't handle this lot here and now? Ha! Count to 10. By the time you're finished, they'll all be dead. Who hired you?
I'm afraid that's confidential. As a professional, I'm obliged to keep my client's name a secret.
We could attack them together.
I have no desire to die today. If you choose to go in there, I'll take advantage of the opportunity, of course. I'll kill Kylus and get back here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to fight any of the others. I don't work for free.
The city is burning. People are dying. And you're thinking about how to fill your pockets?
Yes. So what? Listen here, girl. If you're so eager to save someone, go and do it. And don't waste your breath preaching at me.
I'm going now.
I hope you act wisely.
Okay, so we are totally going to...
You ask me.
Our victory is certain.
Oh no! Okay, since this is a really big fight, we're gonna do this one in turn-based. Yes, I'm gonna leave that auto turn ending option enabled. Yeah, so we want to kill this cultist.
I'll cut you wide open.
You're gonna go and attack this one. There we go. Knocked me down. Can touch a creature as a standard action and give it a bonus melee. Half your level. No.
You crossed the wrong Mongol.
Cool. Killed the two. Ranged. Let's go ahead and charge him. Oh, and he died. Nice. Ooh, they both got really good defenses. His two bonuses the same type of armor class. They don't add up. What? Actually, it doesn't. Does it? Let's try and kill
Cover
him.
me, all right?
Get into the fight. Belt items off. Ooh. Oh
The spirits demand your
no.
blood.
Let's just go for the... What's his AC? Oh, 14. He's gonna have to run. Okay.
You won't survive me.
Missed.
The light. Take you.
They're gonna run. Did you get him? That's it.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
This one's also gonna run, but she's out of attacks of opportunity. I'm actually a little worried about him. She can get to me anyway, so we're
A
gonna
calculated risk.
keep going. Oh, cool. Scared a couple more. There we go, land. Nicely done.
Into the fray!
So the nice thing about the fact that it causes them to run away in fear is that they use their whole turn to run away. So not only do I get an attack of opportunity on them, but then they have to spend their whole turn to come back.
This should do it.
Oh, but they succeeded on those, so. So I get one attack for free, and then they don't get an attack in on the next
Go
turn.
for their hearts!
Let's go ahead and trip him. Oh, or we can kill him. That works too.
Make every strike count.
Jeez, man. I do not remember him being this good. So.
Guide my blade!
Time to share your treasures.
And there's the famous loaded Pathfinder dice.
Let's try this one.
Yeah, see, I cannot seem to
Right higher.
roll very well in this game, and apparently I'm not the only one. Someone else made the joke about the dice being
I know
loaded in
the
a
way.
video I was watching. No. We're gonna be on the other side of this.
Time's not waiting.
Forget it.
So this is what I was trying to do.
Land. Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
And then you can also do this one.
The mongrel did it. Can't hide from me.
I am helpful,
Follow my-
am I not?
I don't remember. Was there anything else that? Oh, okay. Apparently not.
I heed the voice of the
Okay,
spirits.
so first things first. You're gonna take some potions to heal up. And then I am going to equip the half plate. It makes 0 difference, but I like to look better. To the basement. Okay. Surprised by the cobwebs. That didn't like catch my attention before. A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey! Who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Vaxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I am Telmer, the scribe and senior aide of Lord Xanthier, the Plagued One. And do forgive me, but Vaxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I'm compiling... Excuse me, jeez. I'm compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthier has ordered that everything of use should be transferred from Kenabres and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved quicker, even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first hours of the assault. But there's some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where's Faxon? Wojif sniggers. Finest thieves in Mendib. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed down to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against them. Masters of our trade we are. There you are bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm. Trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. No thanks. Every person has their calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. Where's the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer's out of his mind. So tell me, where's Faxon? Clear off before I kill you. The half-elf pitches forward, but then grabs his bag and leaps away. You're lying. You want me to turn away so you can strike me in the back and take the papers that have been entrusted to me. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag as he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthar here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face growing paler by the second. He falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wet wad of paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you for help. Want some salt or pepper with that? No, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the meal. I could do evil here, but I'm just going to kill him. End the cultist's torment by killing him mercifully. A merciful blow ends the hapless half-elf's life. This is undoubtedly a far kinder death than suffocation. Wad of crumpled pieces of paper with visible bite marks. Traces of saliva, the writing is blurred, and the indistinct. Most of the words are completely ineligible, but some fragments are still intact. Basically, this is just telling him to pack up all the relics and send them to Xanthar, who's his master. Flying tongue. Oh. I'm used to flying tongue meaning a really nice sword in D&D. These are all relics they stole.
I am helpful.
That is
Am I
not
not?
far.
What's that there?
Okay.
Open your heart to me.
Actually, I'm just going to bring it to Camellia for now.
Well, I hope you appreciate this. I am helpful, am I not? I am helpful, am I not? I hope you appreciate this.
I'll go ahead.
This one was beyond me. I am helpful, am I not?
Ooh, I was really worried she failed it so bad that it locked it. Okay, so I know this guy is actually important to the mythic path that I'm going to take. So, the old man looking around absentmindedly shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as the level of magic wanted you. Stay back! Which are you, robber or demon? Hey, take it easy, Gramps. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? How should I put this? Don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently run with demons. Hey, there are horns and then there are horns. I'm not going to hurt you. Actually, lower the wand, or else. The old man goggles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower the wand. A rustling comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around fearfully and peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there's no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Who are you? I think his expression grows distraught and mournful as though he is on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads, Teldon, Tower of Estrad Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldon, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me. But at one time, my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a battle mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next I can't remember where I put them. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket, proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys back in his pocket. What are the keys for? All these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrad with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these at all times and never be parted from them. Not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys were left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who'd strip the museum of all its treasures. What are y'all looking at me for? Woljif exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. Give me the keys. Out of the question. According to the museum protocol, the custodian does not have the right to hand over the keys to another. I am personally responsible for the safety of the exhibits of the storeroom. Do diplomacy. I can do trickery. Actually, yeah, let's go with that one. Hey, what's that behind you? Teldon looks around fearfully, and as he does, your fingers slip silently into his pocket where the old custodian... When the old custodian turns back to you, the large bunch of keys is already tucked safely into your belt. Teldon shakes his head in confusion. Why did the demon spare you? The museum custodian looks at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them break into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Kenabres was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent over to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I have proved a very useful resource. I showed him where all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and wrapped them up, labeled them, and he carried them off somewhere. And I've been here all this time. I locked the doors and stood guard to make sure no demon got in, but I've seen not a one of them. Haven't heard any either. I've grown hard of hearing over the years. The half-elf was a demon worshipper. What do you mean, demon worshipper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite. But he said the Crusaders. Oh my word, the relics, we must go after them. The old man works himself into state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets. But the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hand slows, and awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance and looks at you, wets his lips, and sheepishly inquires. Sorry, did you say something? Are you alright? The poor old man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend. Old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and a battle mage into the sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young friend. I'm very frightened. What happened here? The old man burst into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with his shaking hands. First, the bell started ringing, and then there were noises in the streets. Then the dragon, Lady Tarindula, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside, the thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10. I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were all orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. They grabbed me and wouldn't let me go. And then they looted the place. They took everything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And worst of all, they took the wand, and when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. What wand did the thieves steal? The wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the Lost Chapel, and those scoundrels took his wand. A relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias. And they're just damned thieves. Master Zacharias will return, and he'll assemble all of us, his students. And we'll show them. I'll show them what battle mage Teldon is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes. His spine straightens, and in a fluid motion he raises his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghost of the past. The gold man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. Were you just asking me about something? I forgot what it was. Where can I find these robbers? The old man throws up his hand. I haven't the foggiest. They're thieves. They know out of the way places where they can't be found. That's where they are, if they're still alive. But they won't be in the city. I heard them talking about amongst themselves about how they need to get out of Kenabres before the demons wipe them out. I'll read this again. Tell me about Zacharias. The old man's The old man turns misty-eyed. A great hero he was, fearless but insightful. He never underestimated the strength of demons. When they laid siege to the last chapel, it was Zacharias who stood in the breach to rescue the clerics. He understood that we couldn't hold out, but he refused to retreat. He had vowed to defend the temple. Before the final onslaught, he gathered up his surviving apprentices, looked us over, and picked me. He said, Telden, today I will die and leave my comrades behind. Take my wand and bring it to Kenabres. Should an hour of great need come, a worthy crusader can take the wand and bring it to me. I will know that my brothers need me once more, and I will come to their aid. Not even death shall stop me. And so I brought his wand here. I brought his wand and his final words here. I also brought something else here. This is why I am the way I am. The old man pokes a finger at his bald head. Fear consumed my mind. It shattered my reason. I was so desperate to forget that terrible day, my memory slowly but surely fled my wretched head. I don't care about the museum exhibits. Go to the Defender's Heart. There's some good people there. They'll look after you. Really? It's safe there? But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought, as though trying to find an explanation for what he was seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were. Prowling about, wanted to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came in here, and I gave them what for? A dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. I have to go.
I know the way.
Okay. Isn't there one more door? I thought I remember there being another door in here. Nope. Weird. I must be remembering a different... I mean, they use a lot of the same architecture. Another good point. This game does not reuse assets, like, at all. Well, I mean, the random maps are reused, but, like, that's fine. They're random. I don't think that's a problem, personally.
Follow my lead.
But, like Dragon Age 2.
Don't blame me.
Oh my god, did I just fail that again? Wolf, you're fired.
This is my kind of work.
There we go. Finally got it, buddy. The translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to what? Waking. Greetings. Who are you? Not who, what? Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes. And myself and the others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are. So your memories? Of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory, see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mist of history. There used to be a place like this near Neathel, Lan sighs quietly. Quite calm. I used to walk among the plinths and pedestals, wondering, the people who founded this place, what was driving them? Were they thinking about future generations, how to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Or were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? But then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore, so my question was moot. I wish I could say that we have not dishonored your memory, but Kenabres lies in ruins, and but you fearlessly battle the invaders, with no thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We are proud of you. Right, in the olden days, mortal kind lost the demons time after time, and now their descendants are continuing their losing streak. How could they not be proud of that? Why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sensed something in you, as if you were close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder once in the face of evil, and that we must do so again. I sense that light dwells within you. Very recently, you were threatened by a powerful demon, and the dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul, but you opposed it and held fast. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid you and follow you. Farewell, Vision. Farewell. The power that gives us the semblance of life is running out, and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words and pictures and songs. Doesn't he say something? I could have sworn one of them has additional that. Well, whatever. Okay, and so now I have to go to the market square. However, we are tired. And I know I'm pretty sure I get experience out of reporting that we, nope, we're just gonna keep going. So I think I get experience for telling her that we cleared out the Tower of Estrad. Gets us even closer to leveling. So I need to sell some of this stuff. Oh, I didn't take a look at the stuff I gathered. Okay. Trapping Longbow. Oh, it is composite. Cool. +1 composite Longbow confirms a critical hit. All enemies in a 10-foot area must pass a reflex saving throw, DC 13, or become entangled for 1 round. That's a pretty crappy effect, but better than nothing. So, what else did we get? Oh, the Kukri. Grace of Peace adds an additional +2 damage against undead creatures, but no one's really going to use that. Yeah. And then the chain shirt. Lady Calandra's chain shirt. +6. Okay, we'll just use it. Can't. Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't. So, normally one of the upsides to taking some levels in these monk classes is +2. Okay, cool. Is that you use like a mental stat to add to your AC, which might be more effective later on down the line. I have to double check the build. I don't know if the build goes more mental into the more mental stats. But that is one of the things that you can do with a lot of these builds is like you go mainly with a caster of some kind, and then you take 1 or 2 or 3 levels of a class that boost your this one, 1d3 fire hit. It's just, yeah. So what I will do is I'll make sure she still has it on her. There we go. Yep. Cool. Yeah, so you take like 1 or 2, you take 1 to 5 levels of something to get some serious boosts. As a matter of fact, my build is going to take 4 levels of what's it called? Dragon Disciple. So we're just going to sell everything. I'll hold on to that because it'll be good for Woljif, but. And I'm going to hold on to this. I think what I want to do is actually make a kineticist, what are they called? Oh my god, I'm blanking on what they're called. Let's do every crossbow lines a hit. 2 to throw. Roaring hand axe. +1. Yeah, this is worth it, but I think it's really the only thing he has that I'm interested in. +1 breastplate uses the charge counter whenever it hits an enemy. The damage is 1d6 bludgeon damage. Become prone. That'd be good for our early levels, but 10,000. Let's compare it. I get the same bonuses, or I get the same defense out of it. You know what? Well, no, by the time I get him... Also, DC 17 isn't that high. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna do anything else with the money anyways. Oh, I only have 11,000. Never mind, I'll have to come back for that. Oops. We'll keep those scrolls. We've already got mage armor. Sell these books. Okay. Sela gets the helmet since she's my frontliner. Oh, let's see if I can. You know what? I wouldn't have forgotten because I'm going to store some of the crap that I'm carrying. This. I'm going to keep that in there. Looking to store all the potion stuff. Keep that in there. Okay, so now we've got a little bit. And these don't change a whole lot, but that's good for me. That's also good for me. Oh wait. Oh no, I want to give those to Sela. Oh, but not yet. +5 maximum hit points. You know what? I'm gonna give that to Cornelia. So +2 count response to persuasion checks. Do I have? I do. So that's okay. Now we can give it to Sela. Make her a better tank. Oh. So, that goes to land. Let's go talk to Gimel. +1 damage rolls against demons. Cool. You know what? We'll go ahead and give it to Lan. He attacks a lot. Okay. Yep, there we go. We're gonna camp. Don't have anything to.
It's not that I miss the creatures from my old hunting grounds in the caves. But back there, if a beast didn't eat you for lunch, you could eat it instead.
Some of the back and forth banter is good and like is revealing about the characters, and some of it's just filler for transition scenes. Oh, that's right. Part of why I came back was to tell Airbeth about the tower. Tower of Estrad has been cleared of demons. Great! The places where the demons have gathered need to be cleared one by one. Then they won't be able to stab us in the back when we take on the Grey Garrison. Thank you for your service. So there's the experience. I have to go. Oh, no level up. I'm just kidding. I expected that. Okay. So we've done everything on the north side of the market square. Now we have to tackle the market square, which is a long process. I'm pretty sure we come across Nenio on our way there, if I remember correctly. Oh, maybe not. She must be after it then. Couldn't slip past the enemies. Supposed to be a quick fight.
The heartbeat quickens.
How do they keep coming up behind me?
The light take you!
Missed. Shit.
Cover me, all right?
Oh, really?
I'll cut you wide open.
Single digits.
You've crossed the wrong
Look at all this.
mongrel.
I only needed to roll an 8.
This will hurt.
Oh my god. I'm going to die because the dice hate me.
Into the fray!
Nice, there we go, Seela. Thank you for... Oh, come on. Good thing no one
Stab you or zap you.
really gets multiple attacks anyways. Holy shit! Well...
The spirits demand your blood.
Looks like Woljif heard me complaining and decided to do something about it. Thank you, Woljif.
You won't survive me.
There you go, man. Good job.
A calculated risk.
There we go. Okay.
Death is life's final surprise. And I enjoy surprising people.
Still got a ton of potions, so we'll use those. What? Oh
You can trust
no.
me.
It somehow switched back to my main character. Who just happens to get damaged by this. So stupid. And because I wasn't looking at my bar, I was looking at
I'll
hers.
watch your back.
Well, at least we rolled well to heal my character.
A trivial matter.
The enormous cracks appeared after a magically induced earthquake struck the land.
Did we find trouble? No, they did.
Oh, I forgot to switch the weapons back.
Distract them from me.
Nice.
This spell doesn't work like that.
I think the problem with that charge is I didn't have enough physical space between us to perform it.
Did we step on their toes as well?
I'm gonna go ahead and pop the potion, or the mutagen. Illusionist.
have to share your treasures.
Or try to, anyways. See who's up front.
You are today's sacrifice.
Got it, nice. Okay, so he's gonna wait there. Lan, can you finish the casting? Nicely done. Delay. They will done. Let's wait for one to go. He's the scary one.
Cover me, all right?
Oh, she can't charge anyone?
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
This should do it.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do that. Can you
Go for their hearts.
just don't get multiple attacks anyway, so that's fine. Nice shot. Go ahead and charge him. There we go. Alright, Lan. Can
Make
you mount
every
this up?
strike count.
No. I'm not surprised though, because he's prone.
Stab you or zap you? Why
Harder
not
for
both?
you to hit. See
The
that?
light,
Nice.
take you!
Let's try
Let's
this way.
finish it. Okay, we are on the edge of the map.
We'll make this quick.
Oh, here we go.
She won't feel a thing.
I don't know. Can we really do this? Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She is dressed in rags that barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly as the people argue heatedly around her. It is as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in agitated circles above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
The knight brings his sword up above the girl's head.
They're insane! We've got to do something!
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
The girl smiles serenely as though she isn't at risk of imminent death. What's going on here? The knight's hands are shaking.
Our weapons barely scratch the demons' hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomede so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
I like using this one normally because this makes perfect sense, but this roll is terrible, so I'm not going to try and do that. I'm just going to intimidate them. Yep, this feels more fitting for my character. Sheathe your weapons and step away from her, or else.
Whoa, whoa, no need for that.
The knight slowly back away from the girl.
Please, don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. Please don't hurt them. They just made a mistake.
The knights look at each other and take off running.
They're gone, and they all lived. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already. But we are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
I don't think you're an ordinary girl. And that crow you up there, it's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I know different types of tricks. but Soot taught me those. Now Soot here, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful in fighting the demons, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the street. Come with me.
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party? What could we possibly want with this dirty little beggar?
Sure, let's go.
Okay,
Soot
so
is
do not be
restless.
fooled. Ember is
wonder why.
quite powerful. I think she's actually one of the best companions in the entire game if you build her right. Plus 2 damage against swarms. I'll just put the goggles on me. The Googles. Oh dear. Wait, was that a mistake? No. Going to the house. So one of the strongest things about...
They will break against our
Oh!
resolve.
Good thing I put that thing on. Okay, so swarms don't take damage the way normal things do. So
Might be trap,
we'll just
might be
miss
treasure.
Transfers that one. In which case,
My tail is twitching. Must be a sign.
can get all of them. Ooh, yes.
Surrender or else.
Oh, I never noticed it, but when you kill them, they their numbers decrease. Like the actual number
I'll
of
cut you wide open.
creatures.
You've crossed the wrong monk.
Also, swarms do not attack the way normal enemies do. I think they attack saves.
I am helpful, am I not? I hope you appreciate this.
Alright, I'm not close enough. Much Arcana.
As it should be.
That interesting car sound.
Can we retreat already?
I find it interesting that, like, we're aware enough of
Spirits demand your blood.
what's going on to recognize these guys
Distract
are
them for me.
marauders and not other soldiers. But whatever. Yeah, let's go get him. Oh, and they're scared. Yes, I love it.
Too late for apologies.
Let's try.
You
It's gonna run away.
won't survive me.
Sela. No, can't do this.
You are today's sacrifice. Your pain is my pleasure.
Time to share your treasures.
I hadn't really paid attention to her lines. She's familiar, a little scary.
A calculated risk.
Alright, can you reach him?
I'll hit you.
Endure this.
Seriously.
Into
Oh my god, again?
Go for their hearts!
Cover me, all right?
Wait, can he not go down? No, they just weren't doing any damage. Okay. Crate is laden with possessions. Crate is laden with possessions looted from the surrounding houses. Let's make sure we read that correctly, shall we? Oh, I needed to.
Trust in yourself.
Yes. Do not fear. Do not waver.
I'll cut you wide open.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
So I like the flat-footed thing at the beginning of every fight. That like they don't see coming.
Make every strike count.
Oh, nice. Holy shit, they did a lot of damage. The damage cap.
You can handle them, right?
The spirits demand your blood.
Critical miss. Nice. Oh, but you missed the attack of opportunity. Or apparently not.
Distract them for me.
So he's not the priority, but they can't reach the others without moving.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Or sorry, move and enough to the point that they mess up their attacks.
You won't stop us.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay.
You are today's sacrifice.
Oh, nice.
That is not far.
Yeah, I gotta roll really well. Nope, I didn't think so. The self may have fallen victim to some kind of wicked magic, a curse maybe, or did her long service to the forces of darkness twist her appearance in such a gruesome way. Who are you? Giving you a scrutinizing look, she says harshly, "There's no point in knowing, soldier. Trust me, the answer would only bring you misfortune, and still wouldn't be of any use to you. I'm a wanderer. You won't ever meet me again." Who wounded you? She responds with a razor-sharp smile. "Haven't you noticed? The city's burning. There's a battle going on. I was wounded by a cultist." Ember is looking her over thoughtfully. "Her wounds are strange, not at all like mine. They burned me from the outside, but you were burned from within, I think. It hurt, didn't it?" Unperturbed by her cold silence, Ember continues, "Yes, I can see that it hurt. I'm sorry it happened to you. I can heal you." With a resolute shake of her head, she barks, "Don't! I can handle it myself. I don't like when strangers cast spells on me. I can't leave you in this state." To the abyss with you! The elf tries clumsily to pull away. The magic does its work, and the stab wound on her body heals quickly. Glaring at you, she mutters through her clenched teeth. Thanks and everything, but the next person who used magic on me without my permission gets an arrow in the eye. It's with your appearance. A demon's handiwork. Some shrieking spawn flew across the sky, raining corruption down upon us. I was caught in the attack. It's fine. It'll go away soon. She shrugs nonchalantly and looks past you. I know who you are. You're Kaelessa, a cultist of Discari. That's a lie. I loathe demons, and I'll kill any I come across. Take a closer look at the elf. She's clearly holding something back, but she doesn't appear to be lying either. Whatever it is she's hiding, her claim that she hates demons sounds quite convincing. You're not lying, but you're not telling me the whole truth. What was I supposed to pour my heart out? She looks at you defiantly. You have your war, soldier. I have mine. You're fighting chaos and madness, and I'm fighting lies and hypocrisy. But we're both willing to die for our cause, aren't we? Why would foreign slander you? Kaelessa's grim expression hardens further, as bleak and unflinching as the words on a tombstone. You're asking questions that are dangerous in and of themselves. I urge you to stop. The more you know about me, the higher the chances that a traitor's dagger will find its way into your back. I believe you. Foreign is at the defender's heart. You should keep clear of the place. It's never my intention to set foot in there. Farewell, soldier, and thank you for believing me. I actually totally forgot about her being here.
It is finished.
We have now built a bridge.
A trivial matter.
Yet another obstacle. You won't survive me.
Go for their hearts!
This should do it.
Time to share your treasures.
Yeah, that was blocked off.
I'll go ahead.
Did we find trouble? No.
I'm gonna turn it back off of turn-based mode for these fights. Because they go... These are not very challenging. They should go by pretty quickly.
I know the way.
This is an acting troupe. They're just joking around. Move the pile of junk. They're not at all important for the story, and their side content isn't very funny either. I never tried talking to the other members besides Granny.
Let me draw the first blood.
I'm sorry I have to do this.
So my first playthrough, I actually got myself into some serious trouble over here. My party got split because I was exploring, just haphazardly. Oh, so sweet it is to kill. It's funny that he does this here to them, but I've never seen that demon do that again. Or maybe I just didn't run across that actual demon and they use it different. Or they use the same demon model, but it's not the same type of demon.
I did it!
Gray hair, ashen skin. This person fell prey to a Nabasu. This demon sucks the very life essence from its victims and transforms them into ghouls.
helpful, am I not?
Is this room?
Follow my feet.
No, they're not there.
We will be victorious.
Oh. Okay, good. Yeah, so I got that group,
I think I did it.
and there's another group I'm gonna run into in a minute here.
As it should be.
But I had to fight both of them at the same time because of my poor exploring of the map, and it literally almost got me wiped after like my first playthrough. I also like didn't understand build like the specific builds, and anyways, I've spent a lot more time in here getting to this point than I have on this character, and so that almost got me killed and like wasted like an hour of my time.
I didn't know I had it in me.
Whew. Yeah, I had explored like all of this over here. Anyways. The city has fallen at last. How glorious. Now I can stop pretending to be a shopkeeper and spend all my time on my true passion, reanimating the dead. Oh, he is a cultist. Okay.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
I didn't notice that before.
Endure this!
Sleep. Oh, nice hit. You got a good hit on Silas. Disfigured corpses are laid out in a neat pattern in preparation for an unknown ritual.
That is not far.
Okay. No, it's all blocked off.
I'll go ahead.
I guess so. You have to go in this direction. I don't remember this being so. I don't want to call it corridor, but like railroaded. Hey, what are you? Okay. A short, hooded figure is poking about some bodies lying in the middle of the street. The stranger drags the first body off the road, respectfully props it up against the wall, and places the corpse's hand on its chest. The figure then freezes as if hesitating, and you see him reach out his hand toward the beautiful gold amulet hanging around the corpse's neck. He jerks his hand back, hesitates, then reaches out again. Hey, who are you, and what are you doing here? The stranger almost jumps out of his skin, and the hood falls from his head. Under a mop of red curls, a round halfling face looks up at you. Oh, phew! I thought you were demons. Good day to you, sir. Sela. They typoed that. Sela's eyebrows lift in apparent surprise. Curl? Is that you? The halfling looks at Sela and smiles broadly. Oh, Lady Sela, you're alive. Goodness me, that's the second bit of good news on an otherwise lousy day. What was the first bit of good news? Stick around and see for yourself. Do you know this person, Sela? Meet Rimvi, better known as Curl. He hails from Kenabres and he fights in the Condemned. He's the one of a kind, rogue with a gold heart. Sela smiles and adds a little more seriously. Curl, it's probably none of my business, but you should ask yourself if what you're about to do is right. The halfling's cheeks flush, and he hides his hands behind his back. I just thought, oh, it doesn't matter. Can you tell me anything useful about what's going on in the city? I'm afraid not, good sir. I just left the Defender's Heart. Before that, I was holed up in there, too scared to leave. Although spending all that time under Commander Erebus knows sure was something. She's a strict one. Whew! And when she gets antsy. Don't even start. I've had enough of her breathing down my neck to last me a lifetime. So what are you doing here? Robbing corpses? No, the halfling protests. Rimfree Curl may be a rogue, but he doesn't loot corpses. I just need to get these poor lads' bodies off the road. My friends and I are on a terribly important mission, and we need to get through. He's interrupted by the sounds of wheels rolling on the paving stones. A cart drawn by a sad little horse appears from around the corner. A pretty half-elf is driving it, and a young man in a knight's armor is walking alongside. Even from a distance, you can see his tan face and blue eyes shining brightly. The halfling straightens up. See? A terribly important and very heroic mission. My friends and I are saving a beer cart from the demons. Alan of the Hound Hearts, or Elon. As he's speaking, the newcomers noticed you. The knight cries out in jubilation. Sela, I never thought I'd see you again. I thought you were headed to the main square, the center of the demons' attack. The half-elf smiles warmly at Sela. Hey, friend, glad to see you're all right. When we got separated by the crowd at the celebration, I knew right away that something was wrong. And when demons appeared all of a sudden, I realized that was why I'd been so anxious. But I couldn't find you among the dead in the square, so I kept my hopes up, and I was proved right. Sela's face lights up with joy. So you're the other bit of good news Carl was talking about. You and Jenna are alive. Actually, by good news, I meant that we found the beer cart. Sir Elon and Jenna being alive amounts to a quarter bit of good news. Well, maybe half. Aren't there more important things to do in this city than saving other people's property? You're absolutely right. I only agreed to help get the cart to the Defender's Heart because we found it just a stone's throw away. But as soon as we deliver the cart, I'll get back to searching for survivors. By the way, my name is Elon, Sir Elon of the Hound Hearts. I'm glad to meet someone who survived this madness. You haven't told me how you know Sela. I'll save that story till we're back at the Defender's Heart. We're going back there, aren't you? We all have a reason to toast to our spoils. I have to go. So long, we're sure to meet again, either in the city or at the Defender's Heart. Sure you will. Come to the tavern. We'll celebrate the valiant rescue of this barrel together. Okay. We're like, what, halfway done with? No. No, I forgot how much. There's so much more going on here.
Together,
Open your heart to me.
I am prepared.
Always be ready for the worst.
I will fight.
These fights are going way better than my previous runs.
Thanks, Lan.
These corpses
You're
were gnawed to
so
the bone
awesome,
by ghouls
Lan.
whose teeth were likely the cause of death.
Save the last one for me. I am helpful, am I not?
Let's go into the house. Is this the one I hate with the... Yep.
Who, me?
Oops, I wanted this.
Watch and learn. Might be trap, might be treasure. Fine.
Oh, this isn't the one I thought it was.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Unless he's over here. Oh, yeah, this is not the house that I thought it was.
I know the way.
Certain arcane casters can learn spells from scrolls, is what that was saying.
No reason to pause.
My tail is restless.
Use.
Enemy approaching.
Oh no!
Yes.
Any potion?
A trivial matter.
I hope you appreciate this.
Go back to the house. Oh, if memory serves, that longbow is actually pretty good. Yep. So Lan gets this one. And she gets this one. So I know she has a negative on her strength. But the strength only affects the damage, not the attack rolls, which is the only thing I actually really care about at this point. This one. Oh, it's just a +1. Wonder why it's special then. Oh, was there any? Nope. Five and 4. 6 and 3. Yeah. Oops. It just came from there.
Follow my lead.
Okay.
As it should be.
People were not killed by demons, their mortal wounds were infected by ordinary weapons. Oh.
Meditate on your mistakes. Might make you feel better.
And what did I just pick up? There he is. Perception or nature checks. Give those to... Oh no, she's already got one. Give it to Lan. It's fine.
Something wrong?
This war must end.
That is not far.
Hear me, take heed. The hordes of Abyss march on Kenabres. The Wardstone is their target. They must not be allowed to capture it. The consequences will be disastrous.
I'm sure they mean us no harm, right?
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, he did some damage. Oh, and we all leveled up. Okay. So, since this usually takes a lot of time, and this recording has been going on for quite some time, I was thinking about trying to get through all of the town square, the market square, before ending the video, but I've only covered 2/3 of it, so I'll end it here. When we come back, I will, of course, again, have leveled everybody up, taking care of any of the off-screen stuff, like a little bit of the micromanagement that I'm going to actively look to avoid while recording, since that stuff's boring anyways. If you'd like to see that stuff, let me know in the comments. But as usual, thanks for watching, and hope you join me again next time.